Top 5 Uncensored Turkish series that broke all the rules. If you thought Turkish dramas were just slow kisses, lingering glances, and impossible loves, get ready to think again. Today, I'm bringing you something very different. Adult-oriented Turkish series with intense plots, explosive relationships, and yes, in some cases, hotter scenes. Hello, my love. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the most provocative side of Turkish drama. I'll show you 5 series you definitely don't watch with your mom around, or especially not with kids nearby. These productions raised the bar, broke taboos, and showcased a kind of passion that goes far beyond innocent romance. And since I know you always ask me where to find these gems, I'll tell you exactly where each one is available, who stars in them, and why they've earned that 18+ only badge. Are you ready to discover which of your favorite heartthrobs dared to show it all, and which actresses pushed boundaries with scenes no one expected to see in a Turkish series? Before we start, you know the drill. Give this video a like if you love Turkish series as much as I do, subscribe so you never miss a steamy update, and tell me in the comments which Turkish series scene was the most intense you've ever watched. I'm sure after this video, you'll have brand new favorites. Let's begin with one that caused a scandal in Turkey, Shaharan, the series that left everyone speechless. Shaharan, fantasy, desire, and scandal on Netflix. If there's one Turkish series that polarized opinions, set social media ablaze, and caused an uproar at home, it's Shaharan. And for good reason. This Netflix production fused mythology, eroticism, and mysticism with an intensity rarely seen in traditional Turkish dramas. The story follows Şahsu, the stunning Serenay Sarıkaya, a young woman who travels to Adana to teach at the university and reconnect with her grandfather. What she doesn't expect is to encounter Maran, the dashing Burak Deniz, a mysterious man who belongs to a secret community of half-human, half-serpent beings. Yes, it sounds wild, but the sexual tension between them is so electric you don't need to grasp the mythology to be hooked. What really turned up the heat in this series was the actors' chemistry and those intense looks. No symbolism or half-open doors here. You see bodies, caresses, and an authenticity that feels undeniable. There's one pool scene. I won't spoil it, but if you've seen it, you know exactly which one I mean, that literally had all of Turkey talking. Of course, conservative factions in the country didn't take it well. There were criticisms, campaigns demanding its removal from the platform, and even open letters claiming this does not represent Turkish culture. But for many of us, it was a breath of fresh air to see a Turkish series unafraid to explore desire so directly. Shaharan runs 2 seasons and is streaming in full on Netflix. So if you're looking for a tale of intense romance, fascinating mythology, and steamy scenes that will really raise your eyebrows, this is your go-to. Now tell me, have you watched Shaharan? What did you think of the sensual scenes? Were they essential to the story or just too provocative? Ashka Menu, The Forbidden Tastes Better. Although it isn't new, Askamenu remains an icon of Turkish drama, and its inclusion here is for one very clear reason. Its level of emotional intensity and sexual tension is simply unforgettable. This series changed the way desire is portrayed on Turkish television. And yes, it was so powerful that even today, more than a decade later, it's still considered adults only. The story centers on Biter, a young, beautiful woman played by Baron Sat, who marries an older man for convenience. But the real scandal erupts when she falls in love with her husband's nephew Behlul, portrayed by heartthrob Kıvanç Tatlıtuğ. What follows is a forbidden affair filled with passion, betrayal, and secret trysts that kept viewers on the edge of their seats. The erotic tension between Biter and Behlul is relentless and highly provocative. There are looks, caresses, silences that say it all, and bedroom scenes that, for their time, were considered daring and even scandalous. What's most intriguing is that, even though it originally aired from 2008 to 2010, Ashka Menu continues to be sought out by new generations eager to understand why it was so controversial. This series doesn't need nudity to be adult. It's a masterclass in conveying desire without spelling it out. and Biter herself became a symbol, wanted, hated, judged, but never ignored. Here's a question for you to debate in the comments. Can a show without graphic scenes be more intense than one with explicit sex? Or do you prefer desire to be shown rather than just hinted at? Fi, el primer gran escándalo sexual de la televisión turca. Si hay una serie que rompió todas las reglas en Turquía, esa es Fi. Emitida originalmente en 2017 por la plataforma Puhu TV, fue la primera producción turca en streaming que se atrevió a mostrar escenas más sensuales y diálogos directos sobre sexo, psicología y relaciones tóxicas. Fi es una trilogía inspirada en los libros de Azra Cohen, Fi, Chi, Pi, y gira en torno a Kan Manay, un psicólogo carismático, obsesionado con el poder y la manipulación, interpretado por Ozan Güven. Su obsesión se centra en Duru, una bailarina apasionada y libre, interpretada por Serenay Sarikaya. A partir de ahí, lo que se desarrolla es un juego de control, deseo, celos y mucha, pero mucha tensión sexual. Las escenas íntimas entre Kan y Duru son directas, intensas y sin censura, tanto las escenas románticas como las de obsesión y violencia. Serenay como Duru logra transmitir el miedo en sus ojos y el dilema de amar a quien más le duele. Y claro, eso generó una ola de reacciones. Mientras el público joven la amaba por su audacia, sectores conservadores la criticaron duramente. Pero lo cierto es que Fi abrió una puerta que ya no se puede cerrar. Demostró que Turquía también podía producir contenido adulto de altísima calidad, con narrativa sólida y visuales impactantes. ¿Dónde puedes verla? Fi está disponible completa en Puhu TV, con subtítulos en algunas plataformas no oficiales, y es súper fácil de encontrar online para quien busca contenido usado con calidad artística. Además de Ozan y Serenay, el elenco incluye a nombres como Mehmet Günsur y Berrak Tuzunataç, todos brillando en papeles emocionalmente complejos y sensualmente intensos. Si buscas una serie que combine deseo, inteligencia y una estética visual impecable, Fi es tu próxima obsesión. Pero te advierto, no es para ver con luz encendida, ni en voz alta. Dime, ¿conocías esta serie? ¿Crees que fue demasiado para la televisión turca o simplemente era hora de que existiera algo así? Bombashkabiri, passion and darkness in every glance. Now let's talk about a series that doesn't need graphic scenes to make us feel we're watching something unapologetically adult. Bombashkabiri, literally, someone completely different, released internationally as Another Love, premiered in 2023, and was one of modern Turkish TV's boldest bets, melding mystery, crime, psychological tension, and a romance charged with desire. The plot follows Layla, an ambitious, brilliant prosecutor, played by Hande Erçel, and Kenan, a charismatic journalist harboring a dark secret, portrayed by the irresistible Burak Deniz. What begins as a professional collaboration soon morphs into a connection so intense that everything else, justice, crime-solving, logic, starts to unravel. What earns this series a spot on our list is its sophisticated portrayal of adult desire. The looks exchanged between Layla and Kenan crackle with emotion. Their dialogues, their silences, and especially their kissing scenes rank among the most passionate we've seen in a Turkish series in years. There are moments when the screen practically ignites, without ever showing more than necessary. And Burak Deniz's character exudes a fascinating duality, equal parts charm and danger. So his very presence amps up the sexual tension. When they finally give in to each other, the payoff is so intense and long anticipated that fans called it the most erotic scene of the year. Where to watch? Originally broadcast on Fox Turkey, Bombashkabiri is now available on Netflix in select Latin American and European territories. Keep an eye out. It's the kind of series worth hunting down with subtitles, even if you have to use alternative platforms. Its success was so huge that talk of a second season has already emerged, and fans can't get enough of Hande and Burak's explosive chemistry. So tell me, have you seen Bombashkabiri? Do you prefer subtle yet intense romance? Or do you like your love stories more upfront and direct? The Tailor, Stitches, Secrets, and Hidden Desires. If you thought a high-fashion atelier couldn't be the setting for a passionate drama, You clearly haven't watched The Tailor, Terzi, one of Netflix's most talked about Turkish series lately. Starring the irresistible Çağatay Ulusoy, this story blends fashion, family trauma, forbidden love, and a simmering sensuality that erupts at the most unexpected moments. The series follows Peyami, a young, successful designer who inherits his grandfather's atelier alongside its legacy of emotional scars. Everything changes when Esvet, a mysterious woman hiding her true identity, arrives and becomes a seamstress in the shop. What begins as a simple professional relationship quickly turns into a dangerous bond brimming with secrets, tension, and desire. Although The Tailor doesn't feature explicit sex scenes like Shaharan or Fi, it delivers moments of intimacy charged with emotional electricity. There are looks that burn, brushes that feel like explosions, and a chemistry between the leads that leaps off the screen. There's one scene in particular, where Peyami adjusts Esvet's dress while silently gazing at her. That, trust me, is enough to make your heart race. Set against the backdrop of Istanbul, the series boasts impeccable visual style, stunning couture, cinematic locations, and an artful aesthetic that elevates every intimate moment. Every detail in The Tailor is meticulously crafted, making each private exchange feel even more special. Where to watch? The Tailor is available in full on Netflix and already spans multiple seasons. It's perfect for those seeking an adult story with complex romance and a male lead who is not only handsome, but deeply wounded and emotional. Have you watched this series? What did you think of Peyami and Esvet's relationship? Did that blend of elegance, desire, and silence captivate you? Let me know in the comments. Because if The Tailor teaches us anything, it's that after watching, you need to talk to someone about everything you felt. And there you have it. 5 Turkish series that show us love, passion, and desire can be told from a more authentic, adult, and daring perspective. Some suggest it with elegance, others show it without filters. But they all share one thing. They grab you, they make you feel, and they leave you no choice but to react. From the sensual fantasy of Shaharan, through the forbidden loves of Ashka Menu, to the unbridled provocation of Fi and a true gentleman, these series prove that Turkish television is breaking taboos and exploring bold new storytelling. Stories for women who no longer settle for happily ever after, but crave every bit of the journey's intensity. And the best part? You can watch most of these on platforms like Netflix, Prime Video, or Puhu TV right from your couch, ideally with a good glass of wine. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these series have you already seen? Which one surprised you most with its daring scenes? Would you like to see more Turkish series with this level of intensity? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I love reading your takes, debating, and sharing these hot recommendations with you. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more uncensored Turkish content, and, of course, share it with the friend who's always hunting for something a little spicier to watch. Thanks for sticking around until the end. See you in the next video with more love, more drama, and more uncensored truths. Big kiss, and until next time.